Welcome to EPG Pathshala in the subject of information technology and in the paper of open source software. In this module, we will learn what is version control system and we will take an example of a distributed version control system, that is Git, which is open source. So, the learning objectives are: first we will learn what is version control system, what is distributed version control system, then we will see some basic commands of Git, what is Git, and we will also study GitHub, which is a remote website or a repository that can be used along with the local repository for version control. So, let us begin with the discussion. As you can see, we will study the overview of version control system, we will create remote repositories with github.com website. It is a free website for public repositories, and we will create local repositories with git command, and we will see few other options how we can synchronize the local repository with the remote repository. So, a version control is a system that records changes to a file or set of files over the time, so that we can recall specific versions later. Now, version control system is generally used by programmers, and nowadays most of the programmers are using Git. Git is a free and open source software. It is a distributed version control system that is designed to handle everything, that is from small to very large projects. Git is very speedy and efficient, and you can see few companies that are using Git for their products, the software that they are building. Google, Facebook, Microsoft, various companies, they have started using Git. So, as I said, a version control system keeps track of all changes. Now, when a software development is being done, there can be complex projects and there can be large teams. So, each and every member might be submitting his code, and it will be very difficult to manage the version of their code. So, it can such kind of complexity can be managed with the version control system. For instance, let us say a team is working on a huge project, they are building a network kind of open source system. Let us say it is a network monitoring system. It can be open source, it can be proprietary software. Git does not matter whether you are working on an open source or whether it is proprietary. But now, when they are using a single team is there, multiple programmers, they sit on their systems and they are working on their system. So, their code will be on those systems, they will be submitting their code at some instance, and the files can be in versions. So, today it is version 1, tomorrow it may be version 2, version 3 and so on. So, when there are multiple versions of multiple users, it will be very difficult to manage. And if we want to roll back, say for example, I came with a new version and I think that version is not appropriate, I can roll back to the previous version, the earlier version which was functioning well. So, all these capabilities of version management, it is supported by Git software. Let us see few basic version control systems. As you can see, earlier there was CVS, concurrent versioning system. Later on programmers were using SVN, it is also being used nowadays, which is Apache Subversion, and since 2005 Git has got some reputation. Now, when we compare these three, they were the prominent ones. CVS is nowadays a legacy system. SVN uses a centralized server, it is a centralized system, while Git is a decentralized system. So, each programmer's system can become a repository and it becomes decentralized. So, in decentralized system, there can be multiple servers which can act as repositories. Each team member can have their own working copy, and that is why it becomes a distributed system. and the developers, they can work on their own copies without disturbing the main copy, or when they wish they can upload their code to the main copy. When we say main, it means it is main trunk or master. This is an example of a local repository. So, there are versions. Earlier it was version 1, then becomes version 2, version 3, and finally a user may commit. When the user thinks that the version 3 is appropriate, he may commit. So, this is a local version control system. Then another is a centralized server based system, where there can be multiple computers and versioning is being done on the server. Now, this versioning is not being done by these computers, computer A or B, it is being managed by the server. And the third example is a distributed versioning system, where each system itself is a repository and they manage their versions. You can see computer A has its own version control, computer B has its own version control, and they are all synchronized with each other and with the server. So, this is how Git software works. It is a distributed version control system. Now, Git was initiated by Linus Torvalds somewhere in 2005. He wrote it within 3-4 days and it was released. Git is now a huge software. It's primarily written in C along with Shell, Perl, TCL and Python scripts. Git supports operating systems like Linux, Windows and Mac OS. We will see how Git can be used with Linux and Windows in this tutorial. And Git is released under GNU GPL version 2 license and GNU LGPL license. So, Git is an open source software that is used for distributed version control. You can see from the diagram, there is a main branch, we call it trunk. This is the trunk or master branch, and different coders, they can create their own branches like this. You can see there are branches and they can commit to the main branch. So, each user or each programmer can create his own branch, and at some instance they can commit to the main branch and so on. So, this is how Git actually works. Now, when we want to install Git, we go to the website, it is shown on the screen, git-scm.com. You can download the latest version of Git client. As I said, Git supports Linux, Mac OS, Windows and it also supports Solaris. There are clients available for Windows. There are GUI clients, there are command prompts, bash shell available for Windows, and Git is also available with Linux. Nowadays, most of the Linux distribution, they already come with Git software. So, from this screen you can download for Windows, you can download the Git client software for Windows system, or if it is Linux, then you can type yum install command or you can type apt-get command depending on the distribution of your Linux to download the Git software. So, by this your Git will be downloaded. It can be either Linux or Windows. This is an example of Windows environment. You can see Git bash is an executable which is within our C drive. So, Git is installed in this environment and we get a bash command. So, when we run this, we get a $ prompt even in the Windows system, and it supports all Git commands. This bash will support most of the Git commands that are provided along with the Linux as well. So, once we have installed Git, we have to configure it. It is a basic configuration. We have to provide the username, we have to provide the email. So, this is the command. Using git config option, we can configure user.name. We will type our name over here in double quotes and we will type our email ID over here. And if you want to list the entire configuration, the command is git config -- list. So, it will list all the configuration details of Git. You can also list the version of Git by specifying Git version. So, the first and the foremost thing that we have to do is, after installing Git, it has to be configured with the username and email ID. Now, let us see what is GitHub. As I said, version control system has a repository where our code is indexed. Now, the repository can be local or it can be a remote repository. If it is remote, we generally use GitHub website. So, github.com is a website where we can share our code. There are many benefits of using github.com. The first benefit is our local code, which is in our system, can be replicated on github.com, some remote website. If we do not want to use github.com, we can set up our own Git server in our campus. So, there are various ways. In this module, we will focus on submitting our code to github.com. github.com provides two alternates. If we are creating a free software, open source, and it is for public, then github.com won't charge anything. But if we want to create a private software which is proprietary or which we do not want to share with public, then github.com will charge somewhere around $7 per month. As of now, it is $7 per month, it may vary. So, if I want to share my code with others, if I want to create a truly open source software, github.com is one of the best platform through which I can share my code. And nowadays, there are thousands of users who are sharing their code, who are sharing their images, books, etc., so many things through the website github.com. So, let us see what is github.com. Let us see how to create a user and how to explore the functionalities. As I said, GitHub is a web based Git, or it is a version which can be used for creating repositories over internet. It is an hosting service. For public, it is for public software it is free, whereas for private software it charges some amount. GitHub facilitates a purely distributed version control system. It provides lot of features like access control. We can collaborate with other users, with other developers. It has a bug tracking system. People can request for features, we can do task management. There are wikis also available, and we can also do social networking through GitHub. So, in it itself, github.com is a complete website that provides almost complete solution for Git. Let us briefly go through this diagram. We won't go into more detail. I will simply explain. A user, when he initiates Git, he is in workspace. Then by issuing certain commands, he can create a local repository. You can see these yellow arrows. From the workspace, by typing git add or git commit, the user can add certain files into repository. Now, this repository will be local. For some remote repository like GitHub, we type git push command. So, all our local files can be pushed on the remote repository, that is github.com, and vice versa. If we want to fetch from remote repository, we can use commands like git fetch, or we can use commands like git clone to copy some source code or a project from remote repository to our local repository and in our workspace. So, this is the workflow of Git. Our focus is on dealing with remote repository and with local repository. This is a sample website of github.com. It is a landing page. As you can see, it is built for developers. You can create your account. It just requires three things: your username, email ID and password, and you can sign up for GitHub. Then this screen will appear. For instance, here I have created a user EPG Pathshala demo. So, this is the username, and it will ask for few other details like our level of programming, what are we planning with github.com, and so on. So, this is a kind of survey form which comes after the sign up. Over here I have already signed up. This is my screen that appears after login screen. So, once we complete that survey, it will ask to start a project, or we can read their guide. Guide is available online. It is a good voluminous manual over there. You can learn Git by reading this guide also. So, if we click on start a project, it will ask for the project name, that is the repository name. So, as I said, EPG Pathshala demo is my username. I am the owner, and I can type some project name, that is the repository name. If I select the option public, then it is free. If I select the option private, then I have to pay some amount to github.com. So, over here in this screen you can see I am creating a new repository, for example, my first repo. Earlier there was no repository, now I am creating my first repo. This repository will contain all my source code. So, once the repository is created, it gives me a screen to upload files or to create new file. So, from this I can create, this is the screen through which I can either create a file or I can upload my files. If there are already existing files, I can find a file, or I can also download those files if they are uploaded. Over here in this case I have created a single file readme. If you can see in the previous screen, let us go back to the previous screen. There were few options like there is a checkbox, initialize the repository with a readme. So, if I click on this checkbox, it will give me this readme file which contains some details about the project. As of now, this is a blank file, readme.md is a blank file, and through this interface I can upload my file, I can create a new file, and if I do not want to use this interface, I can use git command to upload files over here on this repository. So, all my local files that are on my system can be uploaded at this point. Now, as I said, Git has many features. You can see the different settings available. We can create our profile, we can create our avatar, we can give some image over here. There is a profile which can be used for socializing. We can create SSH keys, GPG keys. So, through Git we can use secure channel to upload our code. We can also upload our code through IDEs like Eclipse and so on. So, if I am a programmer, I am dealing with Eclipse. From the Eclipse itself, I can upload my code with over this github.com website, for which I will require the tokens and keys. There is also feature of security, two-factor security mechanism is given. It also maintains the systems sessions. Now, this example shows I have created 3 repositories. You can see my first repo is one repository. Later I created few more repositories like GIR and JUNG. Git automatically identifies that these are Java programs. It also shows certain statistics, since how long I am a user, how many contributions I made in a year, and so on. So, in this screen you can see there are 3 repositories. It means I am working on 3 projects. First project is my first repo, other is GIR Gir, third one is Jung. Let us take an example. This is a repository network X that is created by a team. It is not our repository, it is someone else's repository. You can see different folders and files. There are nearly 5,000 plus commits, 44 releases. You can see the statistics. So, this is an example of already existing open source project. Now, if I want to download the source code, I can simply go to this repository network X, this is the path, and I can simply clone and download the entire project. By clicking on this green button, I can download the entire project network X, as it is open source and it is hosted on GitHub. These are few other screens of network X. You can see the people who are engaged, the languages that are being used, the frequencies. This is how the code is being submitted, how it is being modified. So, we can see in these timeline the programmers were very active, at some instances they were not so active, and so on. And you can identify by programmers themselves, each programmer takes how much time. This is another screen of frequency of commits. So, the benefits of GitHub is the benefits are we can share our repositories with others. As we have seen, the network X is repository created by a team which can be downloaded by us. We can access other users repositories, we can store our copies or our projects in remote repositories like github.com. So, it can be a kind of backup. If something goes wrong with our system, still our code is safe on GitHub server. Okay, so, let us see how to create repository. As we have seen, GitHub provides a web service to create repositories. Now, ideally there are two ways using the GUI you can create repository. First is we have already seen there are interfaces, you can give the repository name, you can type say for example, my first repo, my second repo, and that is how the repositories can be created. The other is by copying someone else's repository into ourselves. We have seen that example network X. So, what I can do? I can go to the repository network X and I can simply fork the repository. So, forking is another way of creating my repository, that is by copying the code of someone else which is open source into my own repository. So, essentially there are two ways of creating GitHub repository. The first way is create a repository from scratch, which we have already seen, and by forking other users repository. Let us briefly go through the screens. As I said, we can start a project. So, this is how we can create a repository from scratch. We can provide the name, my first repo. If it already exists, then you can provide some other name. It has to be public if you are not paying anything. So, our repository path will be https://github.com/epgpathshala-demo. This is the username within which the repository name is my first repo. If I want to create a local repository, I can type these commands on my bash. So, first I need to create a directory my first repo. I change into that directory. It is assumed my entire code will lie in this directory my first repo. All my files will be within this my first repo directory. Then I can initialize. So, there is a command git init to initialize a repository. As of now, it is empty repository. So, over here I am using Windows environment. You can see C:users admin, it is admin login, within which I am creating a repository, and within this folder it will create a subfolder .git. Usually this is hidden folder. Now, I can connect my local repository with that remote one through this command. So, when I issue this command git remote add origin and the path, then I am connecting my local repository with the remote repository that is created on github.com. And in future I can publish all my local source code of this directory to this remote repository. Let us move ahead. Another way is by forking. You can see there are two screens. The first screen, I have gone to this repository. Jung repository is created by some other team. JUNG is a project that deals with Java Universal Network Graph Framework. So, I opened the github.com website and I navigated to this Jung project. Here you can see there is a fork option. By clicking on this fork, you are making a copy of this project into your project. So, when I click on fork and if I go to my home screen, I can see my repositories. Now, Jung has been added in my repository along with the my first repo, Gir repo. I have added Jung as a repository in my account. So, this is you can see the icon over here, it is fork. Rest of the repositories are created by me. It may be a manual way of creating repository, and this is a fork repository. The other way to download repository is clone and download, either clone or download. So, if I want to download the entire source code of a file, say for example, Jung, I can click over this green button and I can download the entire project. Or if I am on command prompt, I can issue the command git clone, I can issue the command https and the repository path. Here this has to be replaced by the username with the repository path. So, if I want to download this Jung repository, it has to be https://github.com/jrtom, it will be username /jung.git. So, with this git clone command, I can download the entire repository through command prompt. See, if I am not using the GUI, I can download this entire repository by git clone command. Now, this is an example how we add our programs to existing repository. So, the commands are git add dot. So, all the files that are in our directory, they are added to the repository, and we say when we say commit, means it goes in the repository in committed form. And when we say push, it means all our files that we have added and committed, they are pushed onto some remote repository somewhere else. It can be github.com. So, our programs, if we have linked our repository local with the remote one, we can push the local repository to the remote repository. Let us see a diagram. Over here you can see this is another project. These are the files that have been pushed using command line. I have created 2 commits. These 3 files, they were pushed by initial commit, and later on I pushed the file 3.c using second commit. You can see there were 2 commits and there is a single contributor. There is a single branch, this is the master branch of my repository. Let us briefly summarize what we have understood in this module. The first thing is Git is a repository or a versioning software. It provides a distributed version control. We can create local repositories, we can create remote repositories. If there are n programmers, each programmer may have their own local repositories. These programmers, they can upload or push their data to remote repositories. We have seen there is a service github.com. You can create remote repositories using github.com website. There are 2 ways, either you can create from scratch by entering details one by one by uploading files, or by forking someone else's repository into your repository. And the third way is by using command line. We have git command. Using git command and different options, you can upload your data to remote repository and you can manage your own repository as well. So, I hope you like this session. Please explore git command. You may download some ready-made open source software using Git. You can install it on your system. You already know how to install open source software. You may also try to develop your own open source and you can publish on github.com. In future, when there are multiple users, then there are few other commands with Git software to create branches, to manage branches. There are different commands along with the Git. So, you can create branch, you can check out, you can push, you can pull. There are various related commands, but those require a huge team in which people are working together. So, I hope in future you will be part of a huge open source project and you will explore Git in more detail. Thank you so much for listening to this module. See you in the next 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 module.